You're listening to the World's Team Podcast. It's not just America's team, Cowboys Nation. It's the world's team. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
How about them Cowboys?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the World's Team Podcast, brought to you by the BLEAV Network and sponsored by Cowboys Experience. For the ultimate stadium tours, meet and greets, game tickets, all the above, be sure to go to www.cowboysexperience.com and use the discount code The World's Team. I am your host, Paul Stewart, and with me, as always, is never other than Mr. Mike Poland. How are we doing on this fine Sunday evening?
Beautiful. Yeah. I didn't finish work till 2 a.m, so I came straight home, put the game straight on. I had like 6 Red Bulls while I was working, so I was going to just stay up and watch it. So there we go.
Yeah, it was a bit of a late one for me, so I watched it when I immediately woke up and just try and really watch everything I could, and yeah, it's good. It's good. To go over that first hurdle, which is great. As everyone may know, the Dallas Cowboys won 17-7, outgained Seattle in terms of yardage by 338 to 156. I mean, the defense alone just allowed only 7 points. I mean, I know it's only preseason, Mike. I know that, but a lot to talk about, really.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the yardage, for me, my biggest highlight of that game, and I know we sung his praises quite a bit here on the show, but I'm going to do it again anyway, is going to be Christian Parker. He's probably the biggest takeaway. First drive by Seattle, they go 80 yards downfield, score the touchdown. And you're going to go, and, on paper, you go, okay. But then you think, well, they've drilled this opening drive. You drill the opening drive the most. But then if you just stop and think about it, you just mentioned now 156 yards is what Seattle got, which means for the next 3.5 quarters, once Christian Parker adjusted his defense and changed things, he only allowed 76 yards on that defense.
Which is unreal.
Yeah.
76 yards for the majority of the game.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's a lot of takeaways we can take from the defense, and we will highlight that, folks. But we do have to kind of jump straight into the gun here and talk about the big standouts who have actually going to help their chances make this 53-man roster. Now, we're going to have to talk about one guy in particular, and that's Camden Brown, who's just emerged out of nowhere in that game. Like, we didn't really hear him that much during training camp, but by God, he has arrived in that preseason game. 3 catches for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns with that one-handed touchdown.
Very CD Lamb-esque, that touchdown.
Very. I mean, has he forced his way really potentially making this 53-man roster, Mike?
Without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, like, you show up like that. They always say it, don't they, preseason? You've got to show up. You've got to show up. You've got to show out. That is exactly what he's done there. So you couldn't have asked more. Well, I mean, he could have done more, but you couldn't have asked more for an opening preseason game to say, expose yourself. And he did.
And only 3 catches.
Yeah.
That's all it took, those 3 catches, and everyone's talking about him now. Yeah. So Camden Brown, definitely one to watch out for, folks. His stock has definitely risen, and I'll be very intrigued to see the next preseason game with him involved. Also, it comes to the running back situation. Malik Davis, 7 carries for 39 yards, averaging 5.6 yards per carry. Abikanda, 7 for 36. Jaden Blue, 8 for 19. Now, I mean, Martha had an alright game as well, I suppose. Some people are saying it was below par. Some people, it was like...
He didn't really get a chance.
Yeah. I feel like it would be unfair to criticize him because he didn't really get as much opportunity in comparison. Because, I mean, take Davis, for example. He really kind of showed up and why he is like one of those forgotten men year in and year out for Dallas. But I do have my concerns for Jaden Blue. I do.
Yeah,
but don't get me wrong, it looks great on the stream pass. But in terms of in terms of the rushing the ball, I do have my...
There's this hesitation with him.
Yeah.
And like that was the problem I had with him last year. Everyone says the fumbling thing, but if you come down the level again, hesitate. He just takes a split second. You can't think in the NFL. I mean, you do have to think, but when you've got the ball, don't think, just go. And he just has this moment where he'll dig his foot and then he'll go. It's like, no, just go. Just do what you need to do.
Yeah, I think there was that one play in particular where he just completely got rammed up by our own offensive line. It was like not even a yard gain, essentially.
No, it was a loss. Yeah. He just ran into his own guy.
Yeah, so not particularly great. But
with Maffa, though, I mean, if you want to stop there and you'll say it wasn't great. Didn't get much opportunity, but he did show things. He showed plenty, and you go, okay, that's fine. I'm happy with what we've got there. Let's now. The trouble is we're trying to figure out what's going on with RB2. We kind of said Blue's looking really good in camp. Martha's not far behind. OTAs, he looked great. Now all of a sudden Malik Davis comes out and does this, and now you're just right back to square one on RB2. You're like, I have no clue what. It's convoluted the whole thing again.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the whole thing we're talking about positional battles, like throughout before going into training camp. Who's the ones we should be watching out for? And ones we did highlight was the RB2, RB3, like battle essentially. Like, is that going to be based on committee? But the way how things are going right now, there's like you would have thought just by default it would have been Blue and Maffa, but Davis and Abakinda are making good cases as well to. Let's stir up the pot, really, pretty much.
And on the back of that, we can also say the offensive line did pretty well, too.
Yes, they did.
It weren't bad at all. 0 sacks.
Yeah, I mean, one of the standards for me was Cornelius, for me. I thought he actually looked pretty sturdy out there. So, but yeah, pretty impressed with the offensive line. Like you said, giving up 0 sacks. We don't have the main statistics in terms of how many pressures they gave up and stuff like that, But either way, it gave the likes of Sam Howell and Joe Milton plenty of time to do what they had to do. Like, I mean, I'll run their statistics as well. I mean, Sam Howell, 8 for 12, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. Milton, 12 for 15, 107 yards with a touchdown. Both looked really impressed. I mean, if you want to go straight into the quarterback position now, who would you trust behind Dak Prescott at this current moment? I mean,
at the moment... It's a big question mark. I have no idea right now because they're both level pegging, I say.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But in terms of more on the stock-up rise, you're going to have to mention Michael Trigg. I know you're a wee bit iffy on him, Mike. I know you have your reservations about him. I'm a big fan of him. But 4 catches for 30 yards, showing his athletic threat. Is this the big question now? Like, is Luke Schoonmaker going to be off this roster?
That's the thing, is that I would say Bremen Spanford has far exceeded Schoonmaker.
Without a doubt, like the way it stands, Ferguson, tight end 1, Spanford, tight end 2.
Without a doubt.
It's the tight end 3 battle now you need to really think about. And Michael Trigg is now risen the stock up as far as I can see.
Yeah.
And Schoonmaker is not moved an inch progressing.
No.
And not to mention there's previous injury concerns and stuff like that. Like he's missed a fair bit of games and stuff like that. Like, do you really want to like take him back on where knowing like he has that type of history and he's not always going to be available type of thing? So I would maybe look towards a different approach and maybe look at Michael Trigg. That's me personally. I don't know what you guys watching here on the World's Team, what you guys think. Let us know in the comments.
I think what it's going to boil down to between the coaches making an option between Schoonmaker and Michael Trigg is going to simply be blocking. Yeah. Like, do they want a guy who can be an extra receiver? Yes. Okay, then we'll go Trigg. Do you want a guy in your tight end 3 to be an extra blocker? Then it's going to be Schoonmaker. That's really what it's going to boil down to.
But at the same time, it's like, how often do we utilize basically 12-man essentially? How often do we do that? Now, it really depends how short he plays. It makes the play calling really like
what he wants to implement in his book, really.
Yeah, like so, you might not see the need of doing that anymore because our run game could be that effective. We don't necessarily need to go away an extra tight end and basically on the line. We might not have to do that. There is that possibility. Just saying, but. But other than that, Jonathan Mingo had a decent game as well. 2 catches for 20 yards, both converted third downs, Mike. I mean,
Yeah.
One of the forgotten men.
Yeah, and both of those catches weren't easy catches either. They were difficult passes in traffic with the defender over him, managed to make them, corral them in, continue and make the first down. They were both first downs, which is critical. I mean, like, there was one particular pass where the defender broke it up on him. That is kind of down to Sam Howell in his ball placement. It was a little bit, it needed to be further along, which can attest to Sam Howell's feet, because his feet are sort of out of sync, kind of dancey around a bit too much movement there sometimes. If Sam Howell does that, then you could be looking at the quarterback 2 battle leaning towards Sam Howell, depending on how he goes over the next couple of weeks. I would just let those two pair just let them battle it out for the next few weeks. Same as RB2. In terms of wide receiver 4 and 5, I would say based off what we've seen on this week with the Seahawks, it's Mingo and Brown.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that kind of leaves the standing question. Where does that leave Anthony Smith and Trayshawn Holden? Now, Trayshawn Holden, don't get me wrong, we love Trayshawn Holden, but he did not have a good game at all.
Not at all.
Obviously, he fumbled the punt return, really in bad area, basically giving the Seattle Seahawks really good advantage near the end zone, and it was not great. But luckily for our defense, nothing came out of it really, which was good. But
I mean, we'll talk about that
right now. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it right now? About the four? Yeah. Well, more specifically after the fumbled punt.
Oh, go for it, man. Go for it.
I will say this is, I think the defining moment of that game was their goal line stand at the end of that game. That defense. We could talk about how the game started, but how it ended. It was going better and better, and then all of a sudden, Seattle get the ball after Trayshawn Holden fumbles the ball in our own red zone. And then the defense goes ahead. Not only do they hold it all down, they finished the game on a sack on 4th down.
And that was all due to Isaiah Land as well.
Yeah, Land.
And that was one of the points I was trying to make about the defense. I mean, obviously, Isaiah Land got that big 4th down sack, really helped after that disastrous punt return, and really made this give us back ball possession. Then you've got James Houston, who got a sack, a tackle for loss, and a QB hit. Then you've had Siobhan Revel, who nearly had an interception.
At the start of the game.
I mean, that was the big standouts for me defensively. But there was some other names there that actually looked really good. Justin Barron looked really good in terms of his movement. He was going from sideline to sideline. He had even Maris Leafu. My only thing I would say about Leafu, he looks so tiny.
He does.
When he's lined up as a defensive end, even though he's playing outside linebacker, but when you're seeing him going up against an offensive lineman, it looks like a mismatch.
It looks wrong.
It looks so wrong, but he does manage to get off the blocks from time to time.
Yeah.
He has shown a little bit of something that we can use.
On that opening drive we just talked about, Seahawks are down in, I think they're about 10 yards out, maybe less. And they hand the ball off, and Leafu just comes kind of through the B gap and comes around, tackles the running back from behind, and the play gets called dead. But, they go on to score, but still, you're not worrying about the scoring. You're worrying about efforts, and you're looking at things. You see Leafu do that, and you go, well, there's actually something there to play with, because that looks nice.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But to kind of talk about the negative side now, Kalen Carson did not have a great game.
No, he did not.
I mean, where do we start, Pat? Do I start with the pass interference? Do I start
with
do I go with the face mask, or do you want to go with the holding calls? Either way, it's all penalties.
Yeah. He managed to bag nearly everything that you can get hold on, apart from offside.
Yeah, he nearly hit the Grand Slam with that one, to be honest.
Yeah, he just got the Triple Crown instead.
So I see what you did there.
Yeah.
No, but I'm joking aside, it was not a good game for Kalen Carson in comparison to what Revel was doing out there. I think with that type of performance, it could potentially hinder his roster spot way how things are going. And same with like so when you look at like Trayshawn Holden and the wide receiver group, obviously the muff punt, and obviously Camden Brown's standout performance.
Yeah.
Like that to me looks like that's going to be a wide receiver battle for the next coming weeks. Is these two guys like for that maybe that fifth spot? Like,
who's the 4 or 5? Because we know who the 3 are.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, you've got Mingo, you've got Holden, Smith, and now Brown. So you've got those 4 wide receivers and potentially fighting for the 2 spots. Who's it going to be? Like, and like you said, I think as of right now, how it stands, I think it's going to be Mingo and it's going to be Brown.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's the way I would, as it stands right now. I mean, you're looking for consistency at this stage, but the start that they've had is nice. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, I think most of the defense where the negatives was coming from the defensive back position.
Yeah. I mean, I thought our linebackers in general look pretty, all looks really sound.
Yeah,
and that's the thing as well. Like the
pass rush showed up. I was always worried about the depth of pass rush. Now I feel a little bit better about it.
I just felt the general tackling was so much far improved.
It was cleaner. Cleaner.
Like the way we were wrapping up on the tackles. Like, don't get me wrong, Seattle did make some like decent plays, but we weren't making mistakes in terms of how to make tackles. We weren't missing tackles as much. Like we seemed to be very regimented in that way. So, and bear in mind, this is our 3rd stringers and 4th stringers trying to make the roster spot.
Yeah,
like a lot of good pops you can take from that going into the next couple of preseason games and see what you've got and how that can integrate being in part of this 53-man roster. So very intrigued by that.
Yeah, especially when you think last year, Paul, one of our biggest issues was missed tackles, just poor tackling form.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but like you said, star of the show, Christian Parker, without a doubt. Like, I think he's given us it's definitely given the pass mark on that one. Like for his first game as a defensive coordinator, like, and this is not having with the presence of his first stringers, essentially, like your Quinnen Williams, etc. Like these are guys are just, like I said, trying to make the roster, and Parker saw what was happening in that first drive. He made changes in roundabout to suit his defense, and we saw that only 76 yards. You said
76 yards after that first drive.
Yep. So that's a win in general. Like even from a strategic standpoint, like that will be a good confidence booster for not just for the defense, not just for Christian Parker, but for Brian Schottenheimer as well. That he can rely on likes of that as well going forward.
And you look at that as well as a team, like what they had to deal with last year. Imagine being the offensive players, like guys like CD Lamb and Dak Prescott, Javonte Williams. You sit there looking at that going, our defense has got something here. That spurs them on.
Yeah, you saw that on the sidelines. Like and this is the one thing I love about the preseason games. Like when the starters are there, they're observing, obviously, and when they make it, when defense makes a play or makes a stop or wherever that may be, they're there to really amp up and get behind their teammates. And you saw that quite a lot. Like even with Camden Brown scoring his touchdown, like you saw the defensive side like celebrating, but on like Dak and CD and that, they were like really praising like their defensive teammates and left, right, and center. So it's a good confidence boost to have that. Like, and this is the one thing people don't really talk about much about the preseason games is like you said, like those guys on the sideline, they're watching it from a fresh perspective, saying, "Oh yeah, we might do have something here." Like, and with that, the only best way to do that is encourage it more. Like get behind them, and that's what you saw.
Yeah, and it has a knock-on effect. So then, as the offensive players, you see your defense balling out, you go, "Oh yes, here we go. We have something," and it encourages you. It brings your levels up, and then the whole thing just starts positively snowballing.
It becomes natural. That's it. There's nothing forced or anything.
No, yeah. It just happens, And I would say though, on the negative side, Paul, we were sticking to negatives. I know we jumped back and forth because we're talking about Christian Parker. I would say generally, maybe not Brandon Aubrey or the punting, but special teams as a whole. And when you think like these down roster guys are going to be sort of living mostly on special teams, waiting for their opportunity. Special teams was bad. I mean,
I
the
agree.
punt returns, they had one, and it came all nearly went to the house. And you've got Trayshawn Holden.
Big thank you for Jonathan Mingo once again for that one.
Which just adds to it more. Yeah, go on, carry on. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, so in case you haven't seen it, folks, that punt return, I can't remember the Seattle player's name, but basically he almost
the rookie it is. I'm trying to remember his name.
But basically, Jonathan Mingo was basically at the back, but he managed to scourge all the way back and make basically a touchdown saving play, essentially.
Tackle,
brilliant work ethic from Mingo. That to me shows a lot of grit and determination from like Sam. I know people are like, especially in Cowboys Nation, are really sick and mound about Jonathan Mingo, but it's just like we do have a good player. It's about opportunity.
He could be.
But, I mean, I know everyone's still upset about what we traded for him, etc. Like it was a 4th round pick. Like I get that, but you need to kind of look to see what type of player you actually do have. And unfortunately, as we keep saying, last year, Mingo was one of the standouts in training camp last year before he got picked up in an injury.
Injuries. Yeah.
Like this year, he has been a little bit more quiet, but we actually got to see him actually make some impactful plays in a preseason game there and make a really big stop in special teams. So that to me definitely warrants him a really good opportunity to actually make it into this 53-man roster 100%.
Yeah. I mean, if you show out, the coaches are going to put you through the ring and they're going to see where your limits are. So they do that in a preseason game. Now it gives them something to play with. They go, right, these are our guys where we're going to try and put them through the paces a bit. So, yeah, special teams was an issue. And it's not just particularly because of the Trayshawn Holden fumble down on our 5-yard line. There was that punt return. It just generally the whole thing needs tightening up, and especially when you think it's going to be these guys that make the bulk of the special teams, they really need to get to grips with it.
Yeah, work on the communication better, work on the position a bit better.
Position is the big one. Yeah,
absolutely.
Knowing where you need to be on the field. Yeah,
but getting back into it's kind of neutral. What I'm about to jump into next. I mean, I love this particular player. You're kind of somewhat in the middle of him. For good, valid reasons, of course, Mike.
Yeah.
Make no mistake. But we do need to talk about the tight end free battle right now.
That is happening.
Michael Trigg had a really good game, I thought. Showed this athleticism out there.
Yeah.
Showed he knows how to get the ball. He knows how he has a
gets the ball, uses his body well. Yeah.
Absolutely. But does this leave a big, massive question mark for Luke Schoonmaker? Because the way I'm seeing it right now, Schoonmaker's in the hot seat right now. 100%.
Very much so. Yeah, he's got hot butts without a doubt. I mean, the issue you got on tight end 3 is it's going to come down to coaching option. Do they want a guy who can receive the ball, or do they want a blocker? If they want to stick with the blocking side, then you're going to go Schoonmaker. If they want to just see what you've got in Trigg, play him as your tight end 3. Then that's the way they will go. But you've also got to think your tight end 3 is also a backup, because Jake Ferguson will take a knock at some point, and Brevin Spanford, he's clearly the tight end 2 at this stage. I mean, that's clear as day. He'll take the ring, and then it'll be you've got to look at it. How does Trigg fit as a tight end 2 then in that particular position?
Like the way I'm seeing it, it just really depends what type of offensive philosophy that
exactly
Schottenheimer wants to apply.
Yeah,
like does he really necessarily want to play with more of a 12-man, like 2 tight end formation, like a lot? Like does he really want to do that, or does he really want to kind of like explore the options and give Dak more opportunity of players being more wide open in that way? And if we are running the ball, it kind of gives them more of a discretion, because 9 times out of 10, if you're running 12-man, the more likely scenario you are going to run the ball. There is the more probability on that. So I think there is that caveat behind that. So I think it's something you need to keep an eye out for.
I think the biggest roadblock for Trigg isn't so much Schoonmaker. I think it's Hunter Lipke.
No,
because it's
I think so. I think Luke has actually solidified himself in terms of like other positions, obviously.
Like with special teams.
Special teams, and obviously having him in as your fullback as well, based on certain design plays. I think like, he is your utility knife, essentially. Like, and like, so I would say,
but he is a really, really good receiver. It's a game people forget about.
Yeah, like, especially the screen pass for 100%.
Yeah.
Like, but for me, like, I think Luke Key is in his own category. I think Luke Key is good. I think he will make the 53-man roster. It's more, do we really want to bring back in Luke Schoonmaker, like, who has had history of being injured and missing out games? And
he does. Yeah.
And for what we drafted him at, we aren't really getting as much. Like, we aren't getting the investment in return as much.
Yeah, not getting the returns on him at all. No.
Yeah. So, and I think this could be a chance for like some Michael Trigg to take that step up. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, if you can show consistency at this stage, then in the next couple of games, you kind of can't deny it. Then, can you? You can't force yourself because Schoonmaker's a second-round pick and Trigg's a UDFA. And don't forget that Schoonmaker was drafted not by this coaching staff, so they don't really have to worry about the loyalty aspect of it because they weren't the guys who bought into it. So it's entirely, like you say, it's going to boil down to how they want to plan the roster out, and also with trust. Like, which player do they trust more?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, before we do finish up, though, mate, is there anything else that kind of stands out to you from the game?
I will say this. Caleb Downs, Malachi Lawrence both played a few snaps, yeah. They combined for a total of 21 snaps, so it wasn't a lot. But they were out there. They got their taste of NFL football.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously a good thing. I mean, that was kind of expected. Like, you want to give your two first-round rookie prospects to really get
a
into
taste.
Get a taste of it. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't expect to see more of Caleb and more of Malachi. But you probably might see lesser snaps, maybe like one drive there and there for the next two preseason games. That's what I think, because you want to really it's more for them to get up to speed and get into the rhythm of like the speed of the game rather than
the feel of the crowd and
exactly. So I think that's where we are. But obviously, we then get to see Jay Sean Barham. Obviously, he's still on the so. Obviously, the injury.
I got news on that.
Oh, you do?
On Barham, yeah. Chatting to little somebody, and he will be back on Tuesday, I think they said, or Wednesday.
Excellent. So
he's good to go, basically.
He'll be back for the next preseason game.
Yes.
That I can't wait. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, just wait for Barham when he puts on that lid. He is going to cause so much mayhem. Oh, I can't wait. Dude. I think he's not even played a snap for the Cowboys already, and he is already my favorite player in training camp right now. I'm not joking.
I like it. But I think the only other notion to add notes really is the penalties. There was a lot of penalties, not just the Cowboys, the Seahawks. It was a penalty-ridden game, over 20 penalties, I think.
Yeah.
That's a lot of penalties. But these guys, they're trying to make a roster spot.
And it's the first preseason game. I mean, mistakes are bound to happen. As long as you can overcome that and get better, that's what we're looking for. In particular, these guys are don't forget, I suppose one other player I could mention as well that I thought actually did pretty well, other than talking about the negatives, was Justin Barron. I think obviously, him going from sideline to sideline, I thought obviously he was one of the big standouts during the Rams scrimmage, the joint practice. I think he's continued that on into that preseason game. Obviously, he didn't get any interceptions or anything like that, but he was all over the field. He was making good crucial tackles. I believe he had 4 tackles in total. So I think, and just him in terms of coverage as well, I think how he was dropping back looked really pretty good. So I'm more inclined to see what more he can give in these next 2 games.
Yeah. I mean, apart from that, everything else is I'm giving it a tick in the box. That for things I wanted to see, most of the things I'm happy with. Wasn't a perfect game, quarterbacking needed some work. Offensive line, we talked about how good it was. that still needed some work. Running back position's a big question mark. Wide receivers now need to show consistency. Same thing on the defense.
Yeah. If there's one more question I would actually throw into, how does your confidence feel now after seeing the Cowboys playing that preseason game? Does it actually squash any of your major concerns?
Not completely, but they have died down.
It has died down. Yeah, that's where I'm at as well.
Pass rush, like I wanted to see the pass rush. Saw the pass rush. Wide receiver depth, offensive line depth, that was the big one. How did the secondaries react? And it all kind of was all tickety-tick-tick, you know? Yeah. Mostly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where we're all at right now. Like, we're happy that we got to see some football. We're happy to see some of these players play for the first time. We're happy to see that some players really stood out. Yeah. Obviously, we're disappointed some players that we had some expectations on kind of fell down the tracks. But I guess that's the whole beauty of when it comes to a new regular season coming up upon us. Someone's going to take your job, and someone's got to go, essentially. So
that's why you play these preseason games.
Yeah, exactly, mate. But other than that is the end of this week's episode. We will be back, obviously. When is the next preseason game? Next week?
Yeah, next weekend. But we'll do like some show in the middle of the week or something.
Yeah, look, just make sure you stay tuned and subscribe to the World's Team podcast where you'll be notified. So we'll probably will do our episode some point during the week prior to the next preseason game, but we will be back for definite right after the next one. So, but like I said, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the World's Team on all of our major platforms on YouTube, Spotify, and also go and follow the BLEAV network also. But before we do go, Mike, anything else you'd like to add?
No, there's nothing more. I was just going to say it'll be Arizona is the next game, so we'll talk about that in a week.
The good old trip tonight. That is Arizona.
Yeah.
That should be interesting. But before we do go, Mike, please tell everyone wherever we can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter or X at Kenfig Cowboy. That's Kenfig with a K, Cowboy with a K, and you, Mr. P.
Find me at IMP on X and Instagram. All right, folks. Well, we hope you enjoyed our the first preseason game of the year. Obviously, the Cowboys will be playing Arizona next week. Be sure to go and check us out after the game also. And thanks for coming along, listen to us, and we hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend. And as always, what we do here say at the World's Team, it's not just America's team; it is the World's Team. We'll see you guys next time.
That's a wrap on the World's Team podcast. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, Cowboys Nation. This ain't just America's team, it's your team. Touchdown! It's the World's Team, only on BLEAV, where real fans live.
How about them Cowboys?